doing all right there?
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on with my internet right now.
I thought mine was being weird for a second. If California is getting hit by a natural disaster and we're not paying attention,
well, it seems like the rest of the country is getting hit by a natural disaster anyway.
Don't even want to hear it. Took me an extra week to get home.
I know
it. Want to hear it.
I don't get it. It's crazy. I was the video I posted today. I had a bunch of Colorado natives messaging me saying, "Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna have tornado warnings this weekend for the national." I was like, "What in Colorado?"
Yeah. Even Yellow was saying that they just had a tornado just outside his city. So yeah, it's been a little chaotic out there.
Anybody
insane.
in Ohio, near Dayton, hope you're okay. Like, there's all sorts of stuff, but it's been wild lately.
That's crazy. By the way, Buster Boy, I see you keep asking for the Discord. Head over to startyoursystems.com. There's a link on our homepage to our website that you can hook up to our Discord. We got a couple of chats in here that generally people just hang out in. Most of my team is in here right now. I think they're in the team chat or maybe in the general chat. And usually after the races, I also hang out. So yeah, it's a fun little place to hang out. And you can hook us up through there.
Yeah, a lot of OGs normally hang out down there if you want to talk to some of the guys that have been around the game a little bit longer. Guys on Start Your Systems, and hey, maybe get dragged into the stream every once in a while.
Alex Effort saying backflip for biddies. Dude, I am such a noob now at this game that I went back to freaking G setup and started running stop wheelies. So I got to turn that off real quick, and then I can backflip for biddies. But see if I can get it on this uphill triple here. I'm gonna go a little bit long. Yeah, that didn't work.
That's the jump, though.
So Moto, how you doing tonight, man? Do you want to hang around for another Moto?
Sure, if you'd gladly have me. I'm sorry if I'm butting in at all. I'm just kind of staying in the background here, so either way.
Not at all, dude. You are always welcome to join us in the booth.
Oh, thank you.
So glad to have you. How you doing tonight? I know that it was a bit of a frantic week with you guys trying to get back home, but it sounds like you guys have made it safely.
Long story short, 2 cancellations and a quote-unquote never put you on this flight. So we're finally home. Just taking care of everything has been a long, 2 weeks in Southern California, but happy to be back home. Either way.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, that's, it's good that you're back safe, but that sucks that it had to be such like a weird situation with all the storms and everything across the country delaying you.
The downside is that we already had first class through Dallas because we made it a honeymoon as well because we got married April 2nd is like our official marriage and like had it done, actually got it taken care of, whatever. And so our whole trip was meant to have like a good time as a honeymoon, and then it just ended up being like cancellation, delay, storms. It was the worst thing. So finally home.
Yeah, well, so glad that you could join us in the booth. And again, I can't thank you freaking enough for the gifted subs tonight, as do pretty much everybody that got a gifted sub tonight. I'm sure they're very stoked about it. And,
me too, thank you. I got one.
I
noticed that, yeah. You got one.
Randomly, I didn't even see it, and then Kellen said it. I was like, oh, hey. That's a little surprise. So.
All right, warm-up lap, Moto 2 out on the track now for the 450 boys. And since Moto is now our guest of the night here, I would love if you could pick us out a versus PC one to watch in this Moto.
It's funny enough, I was just going to say, I know Fieldberg has been coming back into like a solid spot looking tonight, at least. And you're watching him already. I was going to pick him out, but I'm going to stick with him. I'm just going to stay with Fieldberg tonight.
All right.
I think he's looking pretty solid for our one to watch.
Sounds good. Versus PC one to watch. 2014 250 outdoor champion Dennis Fieldberg. We're going to see what he can do here in Moto 2.
I like that. I saw Fieldberg has 20 points in the series and just got a 6, so he's almost doubled that. How about on top of a one to watch? How about a whole shot? Who you think you got?
I'm saying Leclerc.
Tiger Design's whole shot. I'm stealing that. I'm not even on that team.
Anybody else? Anybody?
I'm going to do Seabolt.
Seabolt, okay. Awood?
I'm going to stick with my guns from first moto and go Whelan, who lost it by about a tire length.
Whelan, all right. Well, 250 class Bryce Whelan's going to whole shot from the semi on the other side of the track out here.
Who'd I pick? Siebel? No, I don't know, dude.
All right, well, it's time for Moto number
Adam
2
Holm,
from
Adam
Thunder
Holm.
Valley. Awood does
Adam
not
Holm.
have a pick off the start. I got Leclerc, and Moto, you had Siebel?
Yes, sir.
All right, well,
I
Holm looks
fixed
like
it.
he's got the jump up the hill here. Haley from around the outside. Oh, Holm down in turn 1. I don't know if he got ran into by Leclerc or not, but versus PC, one to watch. Dennis Fjellberg has the whole shot.
Nice.
Haley's right there. Leclerc sits up in 3rd. And
Man, I don't wanna
frantic
start
action.
Drama, but Holm for sure got tapped by a bubble there.
Yeah, I think old
Yeah,
Leclerc
Light
was
Bubble
given a
looked
push
little
from
bit
behind.
for sure there.
That is very interesting. I'm going to have to believe there's going to be some GIFs posted on the forums after this one. No,
For
Fjellberg,
sure.
a little wayward on the exit of the rut there as Haley's giving chase, and Leclerc's also looking for an opening. Haley goes to shut the door on the defending champion. Might have an option on the lead here. Fjellberg just hangs on.
Since it's so early, they're going to have to play around a little bit with these flat ruts, a little bit maybe heavy entries, but slow exits. But Fjellberg was only 6th, and Haley got by late, I think. But I wonder what these guys can do with the start, kind of like we saw with Devin Ryan. In the
Look at
second season,
Haley with the charge trying to go in the inside, but he's going to blow the inside, end up on the outside. That turns into the inside of the next corner, and he's going to hold off Leclerc. By the way, update from Kyle Miller 729 in chat is that Holm was down in P36 and stopped to change his setup, so he has now moved on to his race setup after his whole shot setup did not work. And he is going to try to catch up to the rest of the field after a terrible start here and Moto number 2.
I mean, that's a very bold move, but, you know, if it works out in the end, then, you know, smart move to make.
Definitely could be the smartest move he could have made right there, and we're going to see whether this charge works. Leclerc going for the hop over. Haley pulls alongside, but Haley shuts the door.
I thought he landed on him, for sure.
We got a instant replay, it looks like, in chat.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this little threesome at the front before we take a look at the instant replay from Adam Holm's lag bubble situation there. So again, those of you new to watching the racing online here, if we're in warm-up mode, which all 3 of us I believe are, I don't think any of you guys are in the race, we don't see that lag unless it is very dramatic. And in the race, when everybody's connected, you can see those little minute differences in each other's ping, which it's going to be a little bit rougher for Leclerc as he's further away from the server. That is what we call the lag bubble, where he is kind of in many places at the same time. And in this case, it looked like it put Adam Holm down in turn number 1.
Yeah, not gonna lie, after watching the footage on the instant replay, it was definitely a factor in his crash, for sure.
Wow. So Fjellberg, Haley, and Leclerc still going at it for the lead. 3-rider battle.
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't want to say it was a failure on his whole shot setup, but because he definitely nailed it. But
yeah, you can tell.
work.
Definite lag bubble takeout for sure.
Leclerc just hit the step on and
Hopped onto the table, then cross jumped Haley to move into second. Now going for Fjellberg on the lead.
That's a huge gain. It's just, do you want to go for the risk? Because if you clip that or slide out or anything, you're for sure going down.
Well, these are the 2 champions of the series back in 2014. Fjellberg was the 2014 250 national champion. Leclerc the 450 national champion of that year. And now they're running 1-2 here in Lakewood in 2019, going for the lead.
So Haley made a huge step up going to the 450s. Was this his first year in 450s, right, in Supercross?
No. Oh, Leclerc's going for the hop over on Fjellberg, and he's going to get it. Fjellberg checked up not to get landed on. New leader in Colorado. It's the defending champion, Alexis Leclerc, out front.
Clean pass, easy over.
Yeah, it's just so risky doing that. But what I was going to say is I think Haley struggles when he's on the rear wheel of someone. I think he carries a lot more momentum in the corners. He's a lot smoother. So I think now, since he's around Fjellberg in the second, he will be able to keep it a lot tighter on top of a lot tighter on Leclerc's rear wheel.
Yeah, Haley does make that move on Fjellberg, and he's going to go after Leclerc. We're going to pause from this battle just real quick to take a look at what happened on the start here. This is going to be a slow-mo replay of that first corner incident from Adam Holmes' perspective. He is streaming. You can see Leclerc really, really twitchy. Even Haley from the outside has no lag. They go into the first corner. Holmes is trying to push a little wide around those tough blocks, and
Yeah,
wham!
just watch for the bubble.
Leclerc just plows over him, and obviously Leclerc doesn't get affected whatsoever. Unfortunately, Blakely, Leitzel, a couple other guys, Whiteley, all getting hung up in that crash. That is what the lag bubble does. Leclerc actually wasn't anywhere near Holm in that situation, but it kind of tries to predict where Leclerc is going because the ping is a little bit too much off. And in that case, it has caught Adam Holm out here early in the race.
The thing is, too, that there's no friend lock as well, you know what I mean, and that hit. So I'm kind of curious on why the game mechanic works that way, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Real quick, Haley pushed a rut and had a fall off. Fjellberg is now in the second, and Haley's in the third, but still has a comfortable lead over fourth.
Yeah, these three have really broken away from this freight train right now, with Reed Young leading the pack here in fourth. Thomas Wilcox is fifth. Eklund 6th, Leitzel 7th, Hockey 8th, 9th is Blakely, 10th is Siebold, so Siebold a pretty good charge, Rob 11th, and Holm all the way up to 12th. So this freight train, actually Adam Holm has a really good shot at going all the way up to 4th in no time whatsoever here.
Yeah, and there's still almost 30 minutes on top of that, seeing how far that Haley was last moto at about the same time. I feel like Adam Holm might not be able to win, but wouldn't be surprised if you see Adam Holm inside your top 3 as this moto finisher.
Holm 2:05.7 last time by, giving chase to the group in front. He's got Kyle Robb, Chase Blakely, Hockey, and Siebold right in front of him. Siebold's trying to weave his way through this group as they're kind of going through the pack together. This is just frantic action, guys, all over the racetrack right now.
Yeah, Austin Eklund, another good start, another in the top 10, Logan Leitzel, Wilcox. Man, if these guys get through this battle and can ride a race like they did second moto, it's going to be a great showing for them.
Siebold trying to charge down the outside of Eklund into the bottom, but Eklund fending that inside, but he slides out and ends up backwards and lose a couple positions. Holm will also pick up a position in that, and Holm goes around Wilcox, I believe, who was down as well.
Man, Chase B avoided that. There's a lot of people back here that this battle, we've seen a lot of mid-pack battles, but there's a lot of people back here that feel like they should be up front. Holm, Chase Blakely, Siebold was there.
Hockey goes down, and it holds up Adam Holm, who loses a position back to Austin Eklund there. And Kyle Miller 729 in chat gives us an update that apparently Jack Haley has also changed setups. So Haley's taking advantage of the situation that Leclerc has essentially brought upon himself at this point.
I'm not 100% sure, though, if he's one of the guys that uses it like consistently. So I don't know, maybe he went in, when you have a fall off, you have at least like 8 seconds of being on the ground. So maybe he made a change and he wanted to stick just going in there, but I don't know if he exactly uses a start setup or not. So
I was thinking that as well, or just in the way that you might have a more comfortable setup, you know what I mean, that you have like a consistent line, and you have one that's maybe like your all-out line that the fastest you could run, but it's just not going to work out once the terrain breakdown happens. So either way.
Yeah, I mean, or even if it's a changing of a gearing, or there's little things you can change where you're like, oh, I didn't like that as much, you might put it back or set it back to what you had, but I'm not sure. I don't want to speak out of my knowledge and say, oh, yes, he has one, or yes, he doesn't. I'm just saying, I'm not sure. So maybe it's just slight changes, or a sip of water.
Chad appears to say that he didn't change setups, so we'll run with that for now. Maybe, like you said, just sitting there to grab a sip of water or something like that. Maybe it's even just a case of just trying to mentally reset, as I'm sure all of us have experienced before during these races. Sometimes you kind of get into a little bit of tunnel vision, and then you have a fall-off crash, and you have to kind of take a deep breath almost to get back into the zone. That could have been something that happened as well. So we'll see what he's able to do after getting up from this crash. Still sitting third, a little distance behind
Also in
Fjellberg now.
chat, Holm to 8th. If so, that's amazing. That's a good drive so far for Holm.
Yeah, Seabolt and Holm have just been charging through the field.
In the 7th now, almost.
Yeah.
There, yep.
Trying to make
down the hill.
Leitzel. These guys are charging to that rut, and Leitzel around the outside holds a position.
Yeah, Leitzel not giving up anything there.
Man, Leitzel is flying into the corners right here.
Yeah, Adam Holm flew into that inside and had the pass made. He just a little bit too little braking. You're always fighting who's going to stay on the gas more, who's going to coast more, and how late can you brake. And he just lost that battle a little bit.
Oh, good battle right there. Drag racing.
Yeah, side by side on the uphill triple. Holm tries to scrub down the inside, but we've seen this outside work to everyone's advantage as Leitzel hops over top. They're still almost side by side over the finish line jump, though.
Yeah, but right here, he didn't carry too much speed, depending on how you hit that. But the outside is scary because you're jumping over people, so you're kind of risking that for yourselves. But Adam Holm had to go on the inside and think, do I want to charge how I can and potentially get landed on and roll the dice if someone falls, or just kind of wait up and make a pass somewhere else?
Oh man, Leitzel, after almost losing his spot to Holm, is suddenly putting the pressure on Chase Blakely. Oh, he might have a line down the outside, but Blakely shuts the door.
I mean, he is charging right now.
Yeah, this outside Leitzel gonna get faster. Watch him come over these rollers right here.
Flying up the hill, almost alongside Blakely as he scrubs up the hill, but Blakely gonna have the option on the inside to block, and he does exactly that. Holm closing up into the group. This is your battle for 6th on screen here.
Shout out D Mills for that outside line. That thing is sick and kind of gave me the idea to watch him. I feel like Leitzel. Ooh, Holm is almost gotten held up on people falling over in ruts so much. And I feel like he would be so much further up if he just had a clear track.
Well,
but
next
that's
up,
racing.
Gonna try to go get Chase Blakely. They have recaught Reed Young up ahead. That would be for 5th if Blakely can go get him. And Holm obviously giving chase from behind. Seabolt has opened up that gap from 4th, but he is nowhere near Jack Haley. So there is a huge gap between our top 3 and the rest of the field behind them, as Leclerc continues to stretch out the lead here, approaching the halfway point of moto number 2.
Dude, Reed Young deserves a shout out for sure. He's been doing good in past years, and I don't know about that Supercross, but over the last 4 motos, he's only scored 8 points. So to be in the 5th, 5 motos, to be in the 5th place right here, he's definitely killing it.
Yeah, definitely solid, having a good ride. He has a lot of pressure behind him as well, but no, as they slide out, he's just going to keep on going.
Yeah, you can kind of tell by his lap time. Fastest lap is a second, 2 off of like the leaders, but same with Austin Eklund. It's just slow and steady, both inside the top 10.
Buster Boy
consistent.
Headed out of here tonight, drops 5 more bits. Thanks so much, dude. I really appreciate the bits you've dropped in here tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful evening yourself, and we'll see you next time on the stream right here, same time, same place next week. Oh, look at this 3-rider battle up the hill. Leitzel splits the gap.
Yes.
Yeah, Reed Young got past, and I'm surprised to see him push back that early. That was awesome to see.
Holm uses the inside at the top of the hill to make a pass. I don't think I've seen anybody do that all night, but he got Reed Young on the angle.
Also, even at the 4th rider right there, too, to push him along. Like, this is going to be a really interesting battle here.
Yeah, Blakely lurking from behind.
If I'm not mistaken, Holm had that spot, so Leitzel might have just got a twofer. Because it got taken from Reed Young and then taken from him. But also up front, or in 3rd place, Jack Haley, 3.3 seconds behind your 2nd place rider. 2:03.8, second fastest lap of the race.
Reed Young made a small mistake, got hung up, and Blakely was able to go by. Adam Holm still trying to go with Leitzel. These two have just been kind of nose to tail for a good while at this point.
But again, let's give it up to Holm for like such a big catch up this race to make up points. This is massive for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, not even halfway through the moto, just about to creep up to it, and he's already up to 6th after going down in turn 1 and being as far back as 36th when he reset his setup. That is an incredible charge, and still a lot of time left to play for him to get even more points towards his championship hunt.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's only about 35 seconds back from the lead, which sounds like a lot, but man, a lot more time was gained, especially in that second half of the first moto. So to be in 6th, and they're all spread out, but it's still not that far back. Home could definitely end up inside your top 3 of this moto.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, that's what, 3 follow-ups? I mean, that's nothing at all.
Yeah, especially with the way that this track has deteriorated late in these motos, and it's been catching some guys out. Not too bad for our leaders in the first moto, but if those 250 races were any indication, it can happen at any time to reach up and bite these guys. And there goes Leitzel actually making a mistake, so Holm is going to move up into 5th.
Whew.
Yeah, especially if you're thinking first moto, you kind of want the best finish you can have. Second moto, you see where everybody finishes, and Leitzel's going to make the pass back on Home right there on the inside. But now you're starting to kind of see where everybody's finishing and starting to push, so they might get slightly more aggressive near the end of the second moto.
Holm has got to be getting tired of being around Leitzel at this point and just wants to put the hammer down and charge forward, but just as he had the opportunity to do so, makes a small mistake of his own. Oh, Leitzel pushing deep into that rut. And Blakely is lurking from behind, looking to jump at the opportunity to get back around both of these guys if he can. Look at Holm's going to go around the inside of Leitzel, make that move.
Wow,
Leitzel goes to the outside to block
pass.
Blakely. So Blakely putting a siege back on the 26 machine. It's like all these guys have started to go to the outside. Holm looks uncomfortable out there. I don't think he's practiced that much as Leitzel goes down, comes short on the landing.
Yeah, and as much as he looks uncomfortable, he did win the first moto. Chase B finished 4th, so, and Leitzel back in 7th. So Chase B wants more from the first moto. You know, he knows where he could be, but Adam, man, wants a lot. So hopefully with this clear track, we can start seeing Adam drop heaters, and hopefully it's not too little too late.
Yeah, there's still quite a bit of time left there. Not too far behind Seabolt, and Seabolt has very slowly been reeling in Haley the last 6 or so laps, I would say. Fjellberg keeps making some small mistakes up ahead. This has the potential to really accordion up late in the race here.
Yeah, your top 6, man. Leclerc with a 2:05.3. It's 7/10 faster than second place and the next fastest guy on the track. Leclerc is an animal, barely avoiding these lappers. Jeez.
That's another thing too that's been a bit of Leclerc's kryptonite most of this year is lap traffic, and I think it's mostly been just incidental stuff, but when you have a track record like Leclerc that hasn't been the cleanest, there's not too many friends that he has that just moves out of the way and lets him go on by as lappers. And unfortunately that has caused some ruckus for the defending champ a couple times this year. I mean, look at Reed Young right here, or is that Zach Prokop on the 38, just tailing right in behind him, not letting him go whatsoever.
Yeah, it sucks because let's see what they're lapping up to. I think they only got to like 23rd, maybe last moto. They haven't lapped up that far this second moto. Everybody's being a lot more consistent, it seems like.
I think he's right behind Eduardo Simos on the 51, just up ahead, so that would be P29, I think. Fjellberg and Haley still lurking in the background.
Yeah, Seabolt lap 28.
Seabolt is catching Haley here, 2:05.6 to a 2:09.1. That gap is coming down in a hurry. And this is going to be interesting.
Where did Haley start?
At the beginning of the race?
Yeah.
Well, he was in second off the start.
Yeah, a few mistakes early, but not. I know he went back a little bit, but he has been on a drive. I expected a little bit more out of him, but to be there every week is what you gotta do, and so we'll see how he ends up here. Third place is nothing terrible, but man, home, just like they had last week with Leclerc coming up so far. I think Siebel as well. These guys are definitely capitalizing on their bad starts and still ending up inside the top 5.
Down at 2.6 up to Haley. This battle for third is tightening up. 20 minutes into Moto number 2, the 450 class at Thunder Valley. I think this will pretty much assert Siebold second overall. Well, actually, I guess Holm would have an opportunity to claw it away from him too. Leclerc definitely going to win the overall in a 2-1 right now, though.
Fjellberg with a 6-2 right now.
Siebold, I think, would go 3-3 with this pass.
Yeah, man, Siebold 2:05.2. That's just an insane lap for this late in the race. We have our leader at a 2:06.3, 2:10, 2:08, and a 2:05. So they're both gaining on Fjellberg, though. We might have a 3-way battle for second here soon.
Down under 2 seconds, Siebold to Haley. So do you guys believe Siebold has the potential to get all the way up to Fjellberg and make these passes here? Or is it going to come to blows?
He's looking pretty solid right now, but I'm not sure he has that speed.
Putting Austin Jones a lap down right there.
Fjellberg would have a... Let's see, hold on.
6 seconds up the road is Fjeld.
Leclerc has a 2-1 though, so he'd be going for what, second overall?
Yeah, Siebold would be going for second overall here if he can make a couple moves. Oh, Haley, a mistake. That's going to allow Siebold to get right up on him.
We have over 10 minutes left. I think that if Siebold keeps riding the way he is, he will probably get up to second.
Charging down the hill, Siebold still peeking to the inside as Haley goes to the middle.
And Fjellberg down.
And Fjellberg was down, so this is suddenly a battle for second. Fjellberg gets up still right behind them, and Adam Holm is a distant 5th. Siebold putting on a brilliant charge. I believe he was one of the victims down in that first corner, or at least had a hang-up because he wasn't inside of the top 10 through the first split. And
so what I'm taking... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and it's now closed right up onto Jack Haley for second in the Moto. This would easily assert his second overall finish.
What I'm taking away from the past few lap times, as Leclerc lost 7 seconds to second place that lap as well with a mistake or a fall off. Siebold just is pushing it so hard. Fjellberg's down again, back and forth, but Siebold is pushing so hard. Haley seems to go for a few seconds a lap slower, gives up second place.
Yep, there it is. Siebold through into P2.
Haley might be playing the smart game. Wait up, wait for Siebold to make another mistake, and think he can get this win.
Now the biggest question mark at this juncture, with only a just over 10-second lead for Leclerc, is does he have the ability to hold this thing? 6 minutes and 2 laps left to go. Does he have a fall-off crash left in him? Or is this going to be smooth sailing for the defending champion at this point?
Is that for Moto? Is he gone?
That's for either one of y'all.
Man, if Leclerc just had a mistake, so I thought he was bulletproof, but Siebold is looking a little bit sketchy right now, so maybe he's not moving away from the lines he needs to move away from. Siebold definitely has a shot. If you're within 10 seconds, you easily have a shot, and Haley's not far off, so I think any of this top 3 could win this moto right now.
Sorry, it stepped away. I think Seabolt still, if he can keep up, as you said, a good drive, possibly could make it happen, but it's anybody's game right now.
Well, the juncture of the race that we're hitting now is Leclerc is running into a decent grouping of lappers up ahead, and the track is breaking down quite a bit, so he's going to have to start searching for lines that maybe he's not as comfortable with, and that obviously opens up the opportunity for mistakes. 8.5 second lead here with just under 5 minutes and 2 laps left to go. This could get very interesting down the stretch.
The Seabolt 1.6 seconds faster that lap. They made a few mistakes, but both of these guys are having bobbles that are losing them about half second each time, but they could easily end up being as complete crashes. So, man, I don't know.
And Leclerc is looking solid right now.
Home in fourth, just chilling. Leclerc, yeah, he seems to do good when he's away from lap riders. He kind of relaxes, but see if any of these groups of lappers kind of get his heart rate up a little bit and cause some mistakes. Haley in the second. Seabolt had to have had a big mistake.
Yeah, he's lost a couple seconds there, and now Haley 12 seconds down to Leclerc. Yeah, that may have just put the nail in the coffin, at least for Seabolt's chances to win this race. Holm is up into fourth, and he is not too far off of Seabolt and Haley up ahead. Oh, what an interesting race this has been. Fjellberg drops back to fifth. Leitzel is now in sixth. Seventh for Blakely. Another solid ride for Austin Eklund, who is in eighth. P9 for Devin Davis, who has just put together a couple good motos today. Not as on top of his game as we saw last week at Paula, where he was battling inside of the top 5 late, but I think he did a pretty good job of salvaging a couple rough starts to his motos, and Kyle Robb rounds out the top 10 just ahead of his teammate Reed Young as they're trying to lap Austin Jones. This is a star-studded field out here right now, basically only missing 2 of our 6 former champions in this series.
Haley goes over the inside route and goes down as Seabolt gets back into second. Adam Holm goes from fourth to third. That fall off cost him a lot. Fjellberg lurking right behind him fifth. I really thought that Haley had potential to win this race still.
Ooh, Holm, a mistake. He's going to get hung up. He's just trying not to hit or miss timing gates.
That was close.
So Haley goes back by.
Man.
What a freaking charge, though, out of Adam Holm with the potential to maybe still finish second in this moto. He would tie Leclerc on points with that finish and leave here as the red plate holder. At the very least, if he can pass Seabolt, regardless of where Haley finishes, Holm will leave with the red plate. But again, right now with Seabolt just up ahead of Holm, he would still have the points lead heading into High Point next week. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Headed up the whooped out uphill. Holmes still giving chase to Haley here. Just over a minute and 2 laps remain on the clock, so I think Leclerc will get there one more time. So we're looking at about 3.5 laps left to go.
Yeah, he should make that. Man, Haley just looked... I thought Haley had a chance for the win because he looked so consistent. His lap times might not have been as fast, but Leclerc just started to look a little bit sketchy coming through those lappers, making a couple bobbles, and the bobbles will eventually bite you. But Jack Haley's first big bobble in a while was the one that bit him, so...
Holm nearly came into the backside of Jack Haley right there. That was really close. And he is still trying to apply the pressure with a little bobble right there. These riders are on the limit right now. 3 laps remain here. Moto 2 of the 450 class from Lakewood. And the question that remains is how many points can Holm claw back in his championship quest? Does Siebold leave as the points leader? Or does Holm? That is really the answer we're looking at here.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Oh, Holm with
I'll be
a
right
big
back.
skirt over right there on the berm.
They're just throwing caution to the wind, and down the inside goes Holm on Haley at the top of the hill. Not going to get the pass done, but he's still looking at an outside move. Oh, Haley just ripped in and out of that inside rut, though. They charge their way up to the top of the hill. Different lines off the top. Haley gets the power to the ground first. Let's see where the lines are separated at the bottom. I think they're both headed far inside. Yes, they are.
Yep.
All right, Moto. Betting man right here. You're putting money down. Who you got right now?
Oh man, as of right now, I really want to say Holm, but you know, screw it. We're going all in. Let's go Holm.
Oh man, Holm putting all kinds of pressure on the back of Haley. He's gonna dive inside, and he thinks better of it, pulls out of the challenge, and actually loses a lot of time by making a huge mistake.
Yep, that's the run right there. But still, you never know. There could be another mistake coming up, and he capitalized, so... either way, good race.
Yeah, still over a little bit over 2 laps left to go. As Leclerc's going to come by, this time by, and should get the 2-lap board. Plenty of time behind him to afford a fall-off crash or so. And still maintain the lead. 2-lap board goes out. And Leclerc looking like he may pick up his 2nd victory of the season, but still not in contention for the championship just yet after a terrible first moto at Hangtown.
But so, Siebold looking pretty solid as, you know, he always has been in the past. And then Holm, I mean, I cannot believe the comeback that he's made in this race, so... Either way, just proud to see him. And also, right behind him, there's a little competition there, so we'll see what that contributes to his ride.
Yeah, so Holm has now made that move on Haley, and Haley's just trying to stick with him. Again, the question kind of remains on whether or not Holm can do anything about Siebold. It's going to take a crash from Siebold at this point for sure, but
Easily.
That would definitely switch hands the red plate going into next week. As of right now, Siebold leaves as the points leader to High Point with a 1-point lead over Adam Holm. And I think Leclerc would be about 7 points behind both of them, right around that area or so. So Siebold trying to just hold on to this 2nd place position, as Leclerc is at this point too far gone to do anything with here. Lapping Will Whiteley on the outside.
Sorry,
Whiteley
I'm back.
is somebody to pass. Is going to be a nice little buffer.
And Whiteley too, 16th. Wow, they lapped up to 16th this moto.
Yeah, they are definitely charging right on through the field this time.
Oh, I guess they did 12th last moto. Maybe we checked that too soon, but Whiteley with the 10th place finish last moto. 16th, not too far off.
White flag about to go out here for Alexis Leclerc. 1 lap left to go. Looking at his 2nd overall victory of the season. It'd also be his 2nd moto victory of the season as my timing and scoring just lagged down. Leclerc! Oh my goodness, that could have been a big one.
Yeah, with that, if he has another little
Wow.
one and a big one, there's a shot. But
I was a little delayed on a lag bubble, but yeah, I saw that. Wow, I'm surprised he held on to that.
he barely lost any time. He's going to have 2 big ones to let Siebold get in, but and Holm with a insane charge. The 3rd sucks. 1-3, you'd expect that to do a little bit more for you in the championship, but 2 of the 2 people you don't want in front of you are the 2 people out front right now. Haley, if it finishes like this, we'll have 5-4. Fjellberg 6-5.
Siebold just got a little frisky coming down the hill just now as Holm is
I was gonna
continuing
say
to put a
it's
charge
throwing
on.
it down that hill. Yep.
Haley's still pushing. Haley's not done. He still looks smoother, and he's got a 12.5 second gap, so maybe he pushes for this third place Moto finish here.
We're basically at a situation here where if anybody crashes, we're going to have some position changes. Oh, if Fjellberg goes down out of 5th, that's going to hand Blakely the position.
Which is Jack Haley absolutely shredded the corner after the double step up. That's the fastest I've ever seen anyone hit that.
Leitzel also trying to get Fjeld, throws it in and almost gets into the back of him. And Haley is charging up to Adam Holm. Look at this move down the outside. Does he have a move? No. Holm charges through the inside and holds the position.
Flat tracker.
Oh, and Siebold was down. Siebold was gone down. He loses the 2nd spot and 3rd in the same 1-2 punch right there. So Holm is going to tie Leclerc on points. If he can hold on a 2nd, Alexis Leclerc wins the Thunder Valley National.
Wow.
It is down to this battle for 2nd. And Haley slides it down.
1-2 and a 2-1. Wow, Jack Haley was definitely sending it too.
So Siebold blows it late. Adam Holm ties Leclerc at the end of the day and takes the points lead with him to next week at High Point. Haley crosses the line in 3rd. Siebold has got to be wondering what just happened. Immediately disconnects. He is furious.
Done. Disconnect rage. There it is. Yep.
What a
done.
weird spot to crash to in the mechanics area. He wasn't even in the bumpy part of it yet. Must have just slid it down and had a weird little fall off.
Slid and swap, yeah.
Blakely comes across the line in 5th, 6th. Right there is Leitzel. 7th
There are
for
some close
Fjellberg.
finishes, though. We do have to say unofficial until we get
Not
some
even
stats.
on that level, but just still, like, I'm curious on what caused that crash.
Yeah,
at all. Like,
it is
I don't know.
something weird for sure. And that was just a unfortunate turn of events for Siebold, who ran 2nd the entire race. And yeah, like you guys are saying, cuts could still come in and play a factor here, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Only a 2.5 between Haley and Holm, and a 2.5 between Haley and Siebold as well. So those guys could still shuffle around positions. What we do know is Alexis Leclerc has won the Thunder Valley National. What we don't know is whether or not we have confirmed Adam Holm has taken over the points lead. And we're about to find out just in a quick moment as all these guys come across the line. P10 for Reed Young, 11th for Austin Eklund. How about Jacob Holgerson? Makes his return to racing tonight. Looks like he's going to pick up 12th. 13th is Wilcox. 14th for Jeff Cooper. And 15th, Will Whiteley will be the last across the line.
Man.
I mean, what a great night of racing, though. Either way, that was, it's fantastic racing.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Here come cuts, and it doesn't change. In fact, it extended a little bit.
Wow.
So Haley had a little bit more cuts than Holm, and Siebold had 2.3 seconds of cuts. And in the end, Holm has now taken over the championship lead going into High Point next week. Freaking incredible.
Yeah. Leitzel did lose 6 to Fjellberg. See any other changes? No other changes in the top 20. Kind of through really quick. Devin.
All right, so
7?
the plates on the back of Adam Holm's bike here are going to be going red. Next week when we see you guys. Wow, incredible stuff. Want to give a big shout out, of course, to Ride365.com.
White to red.
RaceFactorGaming.com. Versus PC, Racetech Suspension, MV Films. Everybody that helps out with this series and puts it on, and of course the entire Race Factor Gaming track crew. And my co-hosts on the broadcast tonight, Moto Go, Andrew Wood, Austin Jones. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Hope everybody
Thank you.
Hope everybody watching at home had a great night, and we will see you guys next week at High Point.